Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics. Elon Musk, he has been putting in a lot of effort this week, hasn't he? To subtly suggest, or not so subtly as the case may be, that there's been a major split with Trump and that he's leaving the MAGA sphere. Now, there are certainly some Trump policies that Musk is very clearly against. The man did not enjoy losing a third of his wealth because Trump listened to a guy who was apparently dumber than a sack of bricks. Which is a weird analogy, but then these guys are weird. But it's all a con. It's a pretty obvious con as well. I'd like to explain what Musk is really up to and discuss to what extent it might work to help build his businesses back up. But first, for daily news and commentary, please hit the subscribe button to stay notified. So Musk has stepped back from his Doge work now to focus on his business interests. Tesla in particular, which is the brand he's best associated with, has been doing really quite badly. There's even talk of the company appointing someone to oversee his work as CEO, which is vaguely hilarious concept. Either he is the CEO or he's not. If they don't have confidence in his ability to do the job, they should really just replace him. He doesn't own Tesla, remember. He has no majority control over the company. If those who do want him replaced, they can easily do that. But the reason Tesla is doing badly is not strictly speaking about the product. Yes, stories of side panels randomly blowing away while you're driving them probably doesn't help the brand. But the biggest problem Tesla have had is the yin and yang of Musk himself. Tesla is widely believed to be an overvalued company. Musk's great talent was for hyping the hell out of his businesses. People don't pay a fortune for shares in his companies because of their belief in the products it makes, but because of the products Musk claims it's going to be making in the future. It's why he constantly goes on about rockets and Mars and all the rest of it, right? And self-driving cars. He convinces investors they want in on the ground floor because these businesses are going to dominate the future. And because investments are a long-term consideration for anyone playing the game seriously, investors will absolutely sink money into something now with their eyes on 20, 30 years down the line. But Musk now has done the opposite. He's deflated the brand with his extracurricular activities. This is why he's gone to a lot of effort over the past week to give the impression there's this big split with Trump over his big, beautiful bill. And Musk may well be against it. He's certainly opposed to the tariff policies. The outburst against Navarro a while back did not seem contrived. But there has clearly been no big bust up with Trump. This is all another one of his conjuring tricks. How do we know? Because there were no fireworks. And Musk has been very careful not to criticise Trump personally, even though it's implied. Trump is a deeply vengeful man who feels comfortable expressing his objections to people very publicly. Had there been a real bust-up, you would have seen it from space. There's no public bust-up between the two. Yes, there's a wedge between Musk and the Republicans, that's evident, and Musk is genuinely unhappy with some things Trump is doing, and Trump, I think, sees Musk as less useful to him than he did a few months ago. The failure in Wisconsin clearly reduced Musk's political stock with Trump's operation, no doubt. But there's no big row going on, and Trump does not keep these things behind closed doors. During the election campaign, he even complained about his own strategists on stage to people at his rallies. Oh, they want me to talk about the economy. Shall I stick two fingers up at them? That's what I'm going to do. Trump once said he could make Elon Musk get down on his knees and beg him. That Trump hasn't mellowed with age, the reverse. No way he would allow Musk to go quietly into exile if there had been a genuine bust-up. This pretense at a deeper split than really exists is a massive con. Musk realises that association with Trump is bad for business, so he's pretending that he's come back to the light side. It's a cynical ploy to try to claw back the third of his fortune which he lost. But he still has his Golden Dome project, which is less about US defence and more about giving SpaceX loads of lucrative contracts. But will it work? Well, I asked people in a poll yesterday. A small percentage of people thought it would, that people would believe it. About a third thought it definitely wouldn't work. But 60% thought it might work in North America, but not Europe. Now, the reason I suggested a distinction in the poll was because the issues are very different. Tesla has suffered a hit to its brand in the United States, in Canada, and in Europe, but for different reasons. In the United States, it's because Musk's Doge work is really deeply unpopular. Like, he was supposed to cut waste, but he took a chainsaw to it, not a scalpel. There will also be some unpopularity due to association with the wider MAGA movement, of course. However, I'm not convinced that having a pretend row about unfunded tax cuts is going to win customers back. Musk is still responsible for Doge. That he is blaming others for its failure isn't likely to cut it. Musk was the one who was put in charge. So it's not clear to me how having a pretend split with Trump, who gave Musk full control of the project, works to restore his public image. In Canada, it's probably more direct association with MAGA rather than Doge. MAGA America is threatening Canada, so Canada's boycotting products associated with MAGA. Tesla may be top of the list. So maybe there are some in the USA or Canada who will see Musk appearing to split from MAGA and think, oh yeah, he's coming back. I doubt it though. But in Europe, very, very different. Yes, MAGA is not popular amongst politically engaged Tesla-type customers in Europe. They also mostly think Doge is a ridiculous idea. But that's domestic for America, right? The main objection people in Europe have with Musk is his own personal projects. Pushing disinformation, which led to extreme violence in various English towns and cities last summer. He literally tried to start race riots. Back in the AfD in Germany, opposition to Musk amongst those most likely to be Tesla customers in Europe is because of this abuse of Twitter to promote far-right extremism and even violence. This has nothing to do with his MAGA association, definitely nothing to do with Doge. This is him. It's his own personal project. Yes, it may well be in coordination with the Kremlin. Nobody in the MAGA camp will mind it. Could even be considered useful to them to help ease like-minded loons into power in Europe as well. But there's no obvious link between Musk's anti-Europe activities and Trump. So whatever Musk thinks he's going to achieve by pretending there's an ideological split with Trump over taxes, it's hard to see how it's going to be that impactful. In Canada, Trump is, yes, seen as the major problem, but Musk's unpopularity in both Europe and I would suggest the USA as well, I think has less to do with the association with Trump and more to do with his own independent acts of malicious greed. It will, of course, take time to see the effects. There will always be a lag in the sales data, but Musk is now back at his corporate desk, so to speak. If he's going to be able to recover the losses made to go alongside the Golden Dome gains, which will definitely make him a load of money, then we should see some signs reported by the end of the year. I'm just not convinced he understands why people turned on him, though. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.